Hello, it's me. So on this Monday morning, which is dull and wet, but gloriously festive, you find me here looking at robots. So here we are looking at this short video of, I think it may be the engineering CEO getting kicked over by the robot that they're making. And I think, this is real, I think. It's difficult to know nowadays, isn't it? But there's a broader point here, and so shall we? Look at that. He's just had the shit kicked out of him. Look at the smile on his face. Do you know why? Money. That's why. So, robots. They're full of promise, aren't they? And I, like everyone else, just marvel at this kind of technology. I really do. I'm totally captivated by it. And it's become so real. And by real, I mean useful over the last few years. 5 years ago, they were still trying to get robots to walk upright properly. They were tethered. Many of them worked on pneumatics. And the big breakthrough, it seems, has been the moving from pneumatic power to electrical power. Joints move better. They can make things smaller. And so robots can now look like this. Humanoid. It's both scary and wonderful. As a child of the 60s and 70s, the future, unsurprisingly, was wondrous because I was surrounded by TV programs which showed me the future. Everything from Captain Scarlet, Fireball XL5, to the loads of films that were out, the Doctor Who stuff, which I used to love with the Daleks. Oh my God, incredible. I was into science fiction and still remain into science fiction. It's been a source of great comfort to me through my sometimes difficult childhood. And so I look at this kind of thing and the future is here, right now. And that's the problem. That's the issue. Because in science fiction, the stories tell you one thing. That technology is a double-edged sword. And on the one hand, it can be used to heal. It can be used to save. It can be used to innovate. It can be used to build. And on the other hand, it can be used to hurt. It can be used to take jobs away from us, from you. There's no getting around it. Robotics comes at a price. And we now know, due to the various demos that have been held by companies, and I drew a little list up here actually, that robots can street sweep, they can collect refuse, they can be park rangers now, they can be gardeners. Any job which is just the job that you have a series of instructions to do, they can do it. They can be construction workers, site security guards, hotel receptionists, traffic wardens, care staff. Would you like a robot being a caregiver to you or someone you love? It's a very important question because for years we've gone on about, as humans, the human touch, the human connection. We run into an issue, I think, when we find that robots may very well be employed as armed forces personnel, or more immediately, the police. When you see that CEO get kicked in the chest, what are you looking at? Quite simply, crowd control. You're looking at a police officer. You're looking at a robot that will just carry out its programming. It doesn't have morals. It doesn't fear. And it absolutely, positively will not stop. If you know, you know. And that's the rub. Robots offer an opportunity for big business to cut out humans. They are, after all, smarter than we are. They retain more information than we do. When you tell them that health and safety is a priority, and you program them with the health and safety rules, they will follow those rules. Robots don't do stupid shit. They can fall over from time to time or maybe run out of power, but they're not going to do stupid shit. The bottom line is they will just get on with it. They don't take toilet breaks. They don't need to take lunch breaks. They can charge overnight. And frankly, they can work overnight. You can have operations running 24/7. Humans really are the weak link in the chain. Then what do we do as citizens when we realize that we're being ousted by robots? When we become second-class citizens, third-class citizens, fourth-class citizens, whatever that means? Well, I'll tell you what we do. We protest. We exercise our human rights. But then what are we met with? More robots? To quell the uprising? Technology has painted some of us into a corner. And there's nothing we can do about it. Unless political leaders, political people, party members with a conscience, they need to speak on this. Their words of support for the average working person can't come too quickly. A series of rules need to be drawn up now to head off any plans that large technology companies have already got in the works. You can bet your bottom dollar they already have this sewn up. This gentleman that you see here on screen knows what his market is. And frankly, he can't wait. Eventually, though, robots will be able to replace him. As I said, they're going to be smarter than us. They retain more information than we do. They will be ahead of us in so many different ways, it almost hurts to think about it. There are stories of people who put AI into robots. Little clandestine experiments. It won't end well. In the film The Terminator, the artificial intelligence known as Skynet recognizes quite appropriately that humanity is just a pain in the ass. And so, in an endeavor to ensure its own future and cure all the ills on the planet, it decides it's going to nuke everybody. A flawed plan, but effective. And I know this, it's speculation, okay? I'm speculating. But as I've said many times before, big business is as big business does. What are its core tenets? To make money and cuts to make more money, to innovate. It's right there in front of you. So how long have we got? 15 years? 10 years? You could effectively roll some of these robots that are being produced right now onto the street within the next 5 years. This technology has developed so quickly, it's frightening. And we need legislation to protect the human element. We need political leaders to stand up and go against their political instincts, because you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to be lobbied hard. There's going to be a lot of money to be made on the side for these politicians. And we need to get ahead of it. We need to make sure now that the battle lines are drawn to make sure that robots can't encroach into certain areas. These rules must be made now. Otherwise, 5 years down the line, I'll make a prediction. We're going to be looking at PC. Wait, what would you call him? Robbie the Robot? PC Clank? Technology needs to be steered. It needs to be guided. It cannot be allowed to flourish unchecked. And if we do that, we will find ourselves pretty soon in a utopia. If we don't do that, we will find ourselves pretty soon in a dystopia. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share if you'd like. It really does help the channel and keep it relevant to the algorithm. And until next time, this is me signing off. Look after yourselves.